From the iShin Broadcast Studio, it's the Tool Time Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Tool Time Podcast. I'm Eric, ASE Certified Master Automobile Technician and editor of TechShop.
Hi everybody, I'm Tom Pecka with TechShop. I'm publisher of TechShop, Tomorrow's Technician. Eric, what do we have going on today?
Today we've got Joe Sabo joining us, the Senior Product Manager at NAPA, and he's going to be talking about Carlyle Tools, and they've got a lot going on.
Wow.
This is going to be awesome. I'm pumped up about it. You excited?
Yeah, I am. I'm super excited. I've heard that Carlyle's really done a lot of great new stuff, and I'm really dying to dive in with them and learn a lot more about what Carlyle Tools has been up to.
Me too. Well, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Joe, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, welcome, Joe.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks.
So, Joe, can you give us a little history about Carlyle Tools and tell us about this new release, this new invention of Carlyle Tools?
Yeah, absolutely. So Carlyle Tools was actually founded back in 2012 as the private label tool and equipment brand for NAPA Auto Parts. And we did that at a time where we saw our existing tool suppliers that were manufacturing NAPA hand tools. They began to move more of their manufacturing offshore. And as they were doing that, it just by coincidence, Genuine Parts Company, the parent to NAPA, was standing up its global sourcing offices in Asia. So we saw that as a great opportunity to kind of cut the middleman out and actually start going direct with many of the manufacturers. So that's really how Carlyle came to fruition. And as we searched for a name, we only thought it fitting to name the brand after NAPA's founder and first president and chairman, Carlyle Fraser. So over the course of the first 12, 13 years, it was primarily just a hand tool brand for NAPA Auto Parts. And it wasn't until, the early 2020s that we started to look at it as, hey, this could really grow into a proprietary brand for NAPA Auto Parts and really expand our opportunity in the tools and equipment industry. So we started to convert over some of our other private label categories, such as air and power tools and hydraulic lifting and specialty service tools. And again, very well performing, very well received in the industry. But we did find that we kind of plateaued around 2022, 2023. So we started asking ourselves, hey, what could we do a little bit different? And what are the true needs and expectations in the automotive repair industry? And how could we engage better with technicians? And that's really what kicked off this entire rebranding and what has turned into a complete brand transformation for Carlyle Tools that you're seeing today.
Wow, what a great history! Yeah, great history, and
cool.
And Carlyle, great name. It just rolls right off the tongue. Carlyle.
Yeah, I really like that. Joe, so that's before we got started on the podcast, when we were getting set up, you had mentioned you were traveling to Asia recently for several weeks, which I think is really incredible. You oversee some of the manufacturing processes and things like that. I mean, what are some things that you think make Carlyle stand out, from some of the other tool brands? I mean, it sounds like you have a really hands-on approach with the manufacturing process.
Absolutely. So I lead a small team, a small but mighty team, and we are very much all hands on deck when it comes to the product design, development, and brand optimization of every single tool that carries the Carlyle Tools brand. So what really sets us apart from some of our competitors is that we don't just accept off-the-shelf products from suppliers and factories. We truly look at each and every product. We ask the question, how could we differentiate? How could we make it a little bit better? And we do that with the most important person in mind, and that is the technician. So what can we do to help make a technician's job easier, help them work faster, help them make more money, all while controlling costs? So part of that requires me and my team to be inside these factories and traveling with our supplier partners and our vendor partners. So I can tell you that Carlyle Tools, we have over 60 factories outside of the United States. We do have some manufacturing in the United States, but we have 60 factories outside of the U.S. In 10 different countries. And over the last 14 months, I have been in nearly all of those factories, working with the key principal factory owners and the general managers, working with the engineers, walking the manufacturing floors and actually looking at the process, everything from where raw materials enter the building and how those raw materials are inspected, all the way out to finished goods and pre-shipment inspections, to ensure that not only are we manufacturing a high performance tool that meets the needs and expectations of technicians, but it's a high quality tool as well.
Wow, that's really something. I mean, I didn't realize you guys had 60 factories, 10 different countries. So you are a well-traveled man.
I would say.
Yeah. That's it's a blessing and a curse. A lot of time overseas, but at the same time, I get to meet some incredible people. I get to see some incredible places.
Yeah.
And listen, at the end of the day, I'm a gearhead, right? So when I grew up, I thought I was going to be an auto mechanic. I grew up in a blue collar household. I went to secondary and post secondary vocational career centers. I thought I was going to be a mechanic. And what I learned after being in the repair industry for just a couple of years, I was an ASE master technician, and what they don't prepare you for in school is, when it's cold outside, it's cold in the shop. And when it's raining outside, you get dripped on all day long.
Absolutely.
So I opted to move inside, and I actually spent 20 years split between two of NAPA Auto Parts' major retail competitors. And in doing so, I got to kind of round out my experience, right? So I owned and had used tools to make a living. I had sold tools to do-it-yourself customers. I had sold tools to professional technicians. So when I came to NAPA Auto Parts, now going on 11 years ago, I feel like I brought a different perspective to my role and position, because I knew how tools were supposed to be used. I knew how tools are actually used, and I knew what technicians expected of tools. So when I have an opportunity to get into a factory and walk around and I'm looking at the people that are working on the different production lines, and I'm looking at the machinery and the automation and everything, that doesn't fall on deaf ears. I pay very close attention to every single process in those factories to make sure that if we're stamping the Carlyle name on a product, it's something that we can be proud of, and we know that it's going to be something that will hold up for the technicians.
Yeah, that's neat. Do you play a role with the R&D as well on that?
Absolutely. In some cases, we absolutely do. Again, having those previous life experiences and those previous career opportunities, I've seen some areas where we can improve on some different things and bring innovation. And that's one thing that I stress with my team is we don't want to innovate just to innovate, right? We want to innovate where it's actually going to make a functional or a design difference that's going to benefit the technician. So one example I can give just very briefly is we came out with a new heavy duty creeper. What we did with this creeper, and again, I used to own one of those wooden creepers that was made from an old pallet that had wheels that would barely, classify as a caster, right? And I understood what that. So when we started looking at this creeper, we actually designed it with a wider body. We used a perforated synthetic material, which is actually breathable, which actually allows for better airflow under the technician's back while he or she is working under the vehicle. We went with a different tubular frame design for increased weight capacity, not because we were expecting larger technicians to be using this creeper, but we wanted to compensate for the force exertion. If you're under a vehicle and you're pushing up, that force is ultimately coming back down. So we wanted to make sure that we designed for that. And then finally, one of the most trivial things that we did with that particular creeper was how to store it. Right? You typically lean a creeper up against something, and you always know when it falls because it makes a loud bang through the shop, or
Absolutely.
You're constantly getting down and sliding it underneath something. So I actually helped innovate and bring to market the industry's very first kickstand for a creeper. So
Really?
one of our Carlyle creepers has a kickstand on the back, and it stores almost completely vertical anywhere you want to put it, anywhere in the shop. You can pick it up. It reduces the risks of trips, slips, falls. It reduces the risk of it falling over and damaging something like a customer's vehicle. So, we definitely play a role in product design.
That is awesome.
That's
That
pretty
is
cool.
really
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I
it
need
sounds
to
like
get
your
one of those.
experience, Joe, as a gearhead and a technician, you're really bringing that to the table to design these tools to be exactly what a technician could be looking for. I mean, that idea of the creeper, the kickstand, that is just awesome. That is really cool. So, Joe, tell us a little more about like the basic core tools for a technician, your hand tools, sockets, ratchets, screwdrivers, wrenches, tools like that. What kind of things have you done with that line of Carlyle tools?
Yeah, so again, we didn't change a lot of the core of those tools because we felt like we were already producing a really really good quality tool with the highest quality raw materials. But we do pay very close attention to what type of materials we're using, how we're using them. It really goes into a lot of how we process the tools. We use some varying heat treat technologies. We use some varying tempering technologies to help strengthen the tools. Everything from the traditional quench type heat treat to laser hardening to induction hardening, and everything. So. One of the biggest things that we did with the brand transformation, though, was with all of our chrome tools, whether it's sockets or wrenches, we did bring some of the Carlyle Tools branding in those chrome hardline tools by applying an ink fill to the size marking. So for if you ever have an opportunity to interact with any of our Carlyle tools, you'll notice that on all of our metric sized tools, you'll find the Venom green ink actually laid inside of the tool sizing. And then for SAE tools, we used our Midnight Oil, and we did that to help increase the ability to identify the tools easily, and actually help lessen the strain on technicians' eyes as they're searching through, again, a lot of times in poorly lit areas, trying to find the right size tool.
Yeah,
you know what? It's
that.
little things like
Yeah.
that, though, that makes such a difference when you're working in the shop.
Absolutely, and you get technicians I know all too well.
Yeah.
You can't see as well when you get older.
Oh, I can't even tell you. Yeah, you know how many times I'm grabbing metrics when I need standards and.
And what do you think of those color names too? Venom Green and Midnight Oil. That's
Yeah,
like
no, it's
awesome
pretty
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Presented from the Ishin Broadcast Studio at Babcock's Media.
What about toolboxes, Joe?
Yeah, so we do have a full range of tool carts and toolboxes. We start as small as a 35-inch 4-drawer tool cart, which would be perceived as the entry level utility type cart for a technician. But we go all the way up to the large 72-inch wide, 30-inch deep professional tool boxes. We have all the cool accessories that you can hang on the side of them, like side cabinets, side lockers. And another area where we did not want to skimp one bit, because the largest investment a technician is going to make in his or her career is in their tools. So why wouldn't you want to produce a piece of tool storage that was of the same quality as the tools, that could help protect that investment? The biggest thing is we're manufacturing these toolboxes and to some of the same specs as many of our key competitors, but at a fraction of the cost. And I think as you get to know Carlyle Tools and you get to, like I said earlier, engage with the brand more, you'll start to notice where keeping that technician, that core customer, at front of mind, but more importantly, our goal to reach the young technicians, the Gen Z technicians. We're trying to give them the opportunity to purchase high quality, high performance tools and equipment and storage products at a fraction of the cost, right? So our tool storage probably personifies that the best in our range of products. Now we're trying to use and leverage the fact that we're part of the largest network of automotive parts and service locations in the United States of America, NAPA Auto Parts. And we're trying to show them that, hey, you can go to any of our 6,000 NAPA Auto Parts stores and purchase these tools. And if you break one, you can take it back to NAPA Auto Parts. And if you're not near a NAPA Auto Parts, or if it's not convenient for you, go to carlyletools.com. You can buy it online. And now we've stood up a dedicated customer service team that if you break a tool, you can call the 1-800 number on our packaging or on our website. And listen, we'll ship you one out overnight directly to the shop. So again, you asked the question about the tool storage. I rambled on there a little bit, but it all goes back to providing what's needed most for the technicians.
Yeah,
No,
but that's
great.
Yeah,
That's great
that is.
stuff.
I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, it's almost. I think that your model here is more efficient in many cases, and makes it a lot easier for technicians to get access to cost-effective tools that haven't skimped on quality. I think that's great. And that actually kind of ties into one of our other questions here. I was curious. Does Carlyle, NAPA, do you guys get involved at all with schools or young technicians that are trying to get into the business, things like that?
That's aside from the brand transformation, that is probably the area where we've invested most heavily in the last 12 to 18 months. So Carlyle Tools, with the assistance of our NAPA marketing team, we're really showing up for these students, both secondary and post-secondary. We've hired a dedicated national sales manager who does nothing but focuses on these schools. He is out leading our NHRA Youth and Education Services initiatives at each of the NHRA races. He's connecting with school instructors, school administrators, school board members. He's out calling on the schools and talking to the students. We are a big advocate and sponsor of Skills USA, which is a leading organization for student development and workforce placement. I sit on the board of directors for Skills USA Georgia, which gives me some insights into what the needs and pain points are of schools. And then we have an awesome relationship with the Tech Force Foundation, where we're able, again, with the assistance of NAPA Auto Parts, we're able to provide scholarships to worthy students. And then we stood up our own student scholarship called the Carlyle Max Impact Scholarship, where we're giving away a monetary scholarship plus tool donation every single month, starting last month in June. So it really starts with the young technician. And listen, we're even trying to reach them even before high school. When we have the opportunity, we're actually trying to engage with them in middle school when they're still trying to figure out what core curriculum they want to pursue in high school, and trying to help them understand that there are valuable and rewarding careers in the skilled trades profession. And if that's something that they're interested in, and they like working with their hands, or they like the non-traditional courses, go into a vocational course in high school. Check it out. And that's where Carlyle really becomes more of a technician strategy versus a tool strategy, because we're trying to use Carlyle as that conduit that helps connect the technicians with the jobs and the careers in the industry, showing them that there's money to be made in skilled trades, and oh yeah, you get to play with all of these really cool tools and equipment while doing it.
Right.
That is awesome. That's great to have such a support of the industry and these young technicians. That is fantastic.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah. It's and what a great way to build brand loyalty, from the ground up too. All these young technicians are gonna, they're gonna grow to become, master techs, and they're gonna know Carlyle. And I think that's fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Joe, we've got something here actually that I've used in the shop many times. It's a Carlyle Battery and Electrical System Analyzer. This is one of your electrical tools. And can you tell us a little bit about this? And this is the Venom Green we're dealing with right here, correct?
That's right. So we put the Venom Green bumpers around that to help protect it. But that is, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of our 2000 cold cranking amp battery testers. We have 4 different testers in this range of products, but this is a smart engine electrical system analyzer. So it's actually able to perform not only a battery test, but it can also do a charging system test, as well as a starting circuit test. And it can do all of that in about 45 seconds and then provide a printout. So this was one of the things that, we spent some time on and working with some of our leading industry manufacturers to develop, is making sure that we had a nice range of products that would grow with the technician. Everything from entry level all the way up to like a designated diagnostic tech, right? So that battery tester there, that is a great, what we call a triage tool. So we strongly encourage technicians to put that on every single vehicle, even if it comes in for something as simple as a tire rotate and balance or an oil change. Go ahead and throw that on. In 45 seconds, you'll get a really good snapshot of everything that's going on with the vehicle's electrical system. And you could potentially identify services needed that the vehicle owner wasn't aware of, which definitely aids the vehicle owner in identifying a problem before it becomes a problem. But secondly, it is also a way for technicians and shops to increase their basket size as well, and increase services inside the shop.
That is awesome. Yeah, this thing's a really, really useful tool. There's a printout, you can print out all the specs.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty robust too. I mean, having
yeah.
looked at it from, right here, that thing's really neat.
We can always head out later, hook it up to your truck if you want to check it out.
Yeah. You have to show me how to use it. I mean, that's my skill levels stop at the wrench. When it gets to that, I'm lost.
Well, so that's where we approach that with the acronym RTDGS, which is just read the dadgum screen. We try to make our tools intuitive enough, again, for those entry level technicians whether they're in school or just coming out into the industry, we don't want to overcomplicate anything that we're doing, right? We want to make it intuitive. We want to make it easy to use. So I always tell people, read the dadgum screen. It'll ask you the questions it needs to know. It'll tell you what button to smash after that. It's pretty easy. I'm confident that within 90 seconds, you could be performing one of these tests.
No kidding.
Wow, yeah, that is awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and even with the years of experience, I still love stuff that is intuitive and easier to use. I mean, it makes all the difference in efficiency during the day.
I mean, when you're working on cars nowadays, there's so much involved to it. I mean, it's not just turning wrenches, right? I mean, there's totally so much diagnostic stuff going on, and then it could just be confusing. So that's really cool. That's a really cool feature.
Absolutely. So, Joe, what other parts of, how far is your reach? You getting into the body repair at all?
So we are working on a very comprehensive product pipeline that actually extends out past the year 2030. So we are looking at a lot of new areas of opportunity, new categories, new subcategories where we can expand into. Paint and body and equipment. We'll have some new products coming in the future. But I want to touch on 2 points really quick. First, I want to go back and talk about a comment that you made about a technician growing into that master technician, right?
Yeah.
We don't want them to stop at a master technician, right? We don't want them to stop there. We want them to understand that if they want to go on and own a shop, a multi-bay shop, if they want to go on and own multiple shops, we want them to understand that they can do that. And we want to make sure that Carlyle Tools has the breadth of range to grow with them as they choose to do that. So you will see us eventually grow into some new areas, perhaps some shop equipment and maybe even some capital equipment areas in the future. But that is only made possible by the second point I wanted to make, and that's going back and really keying in on that NAPA network and the fact that in addition to our 6,000 stores, we have 18,000 NAPA Auto Care members, independent shop owners who choose to partner with NAPA Auto Parts and who choose to fly our colors. And we have access to them as part of Carlyle Tools and as part of the NAPA Auto Parts family. So working with our NAPA Auto Care members, connecting with our NAPA Auto Care member council, understanding what those needs and expectations are. And then we also have a training division called NAPA Auto Tech, where we have 40 plus instructors that are out in the field providing continued education for technicians of all ages. And in a lot of cases, they're writing their own training curriculum with the assistance of ASE to start reaching into emerging markets and new technologies and electrification and so on and so forth. So we benefit greatly from having that exposure to our stores, our auto care members, our auto tech training team. So all of that information to design those product pipelines and understand what's next. What do we need to design next? Maybe it's a new screwdriver. Maybe it's something bigger than a new screwdriver. But we're pulling a lot of data points from a lot of different places, because the one thing we don't want to do is engage with a Gen Z technician as he or she comes into the industry for the first time. And then for them to get to a certain point in their careers where, they may want to go do bigger and better things, and they may want to advance their opportunities, and they can't rely on Carlyle Tools. So rest assured, it's at the top of our minds, and we are planning for it. And you will definitely see a lot more Midnight Oil and Venom Green in the years to come.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's great
that's
to hear
really
they're
cool.
so invested in the industry. Do you have any favorite Carlyle tools that the creeper's got to be one of them, and that's just a really cool thing, but what else comes to mind?
Yeah, the creeper's pretty cool because I was able to put a little bit of my influence on there. We do have a new technician work light, handheld technician work light that I also got to do a little bit of work on. But I tell you, probably my favorite tool of everything. We just introduced a brand new 180 position swivel head ratchet. So
Awesome.
this thing has an arc swing of less than 2 degrees. It swivels in like 300 degrees. You can get down into just about any tight spot you could imagine, and the backlash on this ratchet and everything. It's one of the newer tools, but it has already become my favorite, and we get a lot of compliments about that particular ratchet.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
That sounds really cool. Can't wait to check one of
And
those out.
and just like everything else, those are available in the stores.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So right now in our Napa Auto Parts stores, all of our company-owned stores have switched over to the new Carlyle Tools displays. We're in the process of working with each of our independent store owners to get the new displays into their stores. And when I talk about displays, what we've done is we've identified the top 750 SKUs in our hand tools range and 300 SKUs in our specialty service tools range. These would be like the table stake type tools, the minimum needed tools in any technician's work box. And what we've done is we've put all of those tools in the store. So about 20% of our range overall is actually inside the stores. Meaning that if you need a commonly used, popular tool, chances are you'll be able to walk into any Napa Auto Parts store and pick it up. The balance of the range, again, would be available through special order, typically overnight to the stores, or you could choose to purchase them on carlyletools.com, and we'll ship it directly to the shop.
There was one last thing I was curious about is your air tools. You guys doing anything with that? You got some new stuff coming, or just real quick, if you want to tell us a little bit about that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so first off, we get complimented on our pneumatic air tools all of the time. Obviously, I have a biased opinion, but I truly believe they're some of the best performing tools out there. And I know for a fact, having been in the factories, we're definitely partnered with the right people. But we do have some new stuff coming out, right? So we know that cordless power tools has come onto the scene, and it's definitely made an impression in a lot of technicians' toolboxes. But we also know that air supply is going to be around for a really long time. So we're looking at some new things. We've got a new 1 horsepower geared air saw coming out. This would be more like your reciprocating type saw. So it's much bigger than just like the small body saws that we've had in the past. This is one that will go through a 1/4 inch of steel. I can see it being very popular in exhaust and muffler shops, collision repair shops. And then we are working on a new line of both manual but also pneumatic air-driven rivet guns. So, Eric, you kind of asked about paint, body, and equipment.
Yeah.
So you guys just got the sneak peek behind the curtain there. We've got some rivet guns and some geared air saws coming that we think will be pretty popular in the collision repair space.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that sounds like some great stuff coming down the road here. Certainly looking forward to checking some of it out and trying some of it out. So that is fantastic. Hey, thanks again, Joe. Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, this has been great stuff. I know the technicians are going to be eager to get their hands on these new Carlyle tools. So, Tom, what did you think? That was great stuff, huh?
Yeah, that was an incredible interview. I mean, I never realized that they had so many factories in so many countries, and I mean, wow, what an impact they're making too with the upcoming technicians and everything.
And they are everywhere.
Yeah.
They're really putting
It is really cool.
investment into it. It is really cool. And I like what Joe said, a small but mighty team that he works with. It's like Carlyle, it's like they speak softly but carry a big stick.
Yeah.
I tell you, I don't think they're going to be speaking softly for very long.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, with a guy like Joe on board, he very clearly knows everything there is to know about tools. So
Absolutely.
that's really cool.
Well, hey, thanks, Tom. And thanks, everyone, for joining us. And we'll see you again next time.
Bye, everyone.